Edgar TV.
How do you guys, and welcome back to Edgar TV. And in this episode what we're going to do is we're going to look at the major changes and differences between what we traditionally see at darts and PDC events to the summer series. We have literally just been sent, I'm reading it now, a 9-page document from the PDC explaining all the safety precautions and everything that needs to be put into place to make the summer series work and how that's going to happen. If you want to know how I'm going to adapt to this and things I'm going to try putting into place, and because we have to adapt. We adapt or we fail. They're the two things we've got. So it's going to take a little bit of planning on my part. If you want to hear anything about that, hit that subscribe button. I'll be doing a follow-up video to this in the future. Join the 30% of people. That's a big percentage of people not subscribed to my channel. Guys, if you're in that 68% of people not subscribed to the channel, do it today. Hit that subscribe button, join the Edgar Nation, and we'll have a little chat more about the summer series. But on to today's video and on to the changes and things that we're going to see at the summer series. So the first big change is to do with the arrival. All players need to arrive a day early. So we get an arrival time slot that we need to arrive. We'll be arriving at the venue a day early, and then we'll go for testing. And self-isolation and testing and things, and they'll put some up your nose and in your mouth and swabs and things. If you pass, you get a wristband which then allows you to travel around the bubble. The bubble will be consisting of the communal areas such as restaurant within the hotel, the bar area for like the breakfast stuff, your room within the hotel, and obviously the arena. So that's the bubble. Once you get past and you get that wristband, you cannot leave the bubble for any reason. If you do leave, you then need to be retested. That even includes going to the car or going to the shop or things. So everything you take with you, you need to take in that very first bit. So once you're in the bubble, you're in. All these events are ranked. So it's 5 events back to back to back to back to back. Did I put too many backs in? Back to back events, and they're ranked in the same way that a Pro Tour Players Championship is ranked. So the payouts are exactly the same, the structure's the same, it goes towards the same relevant order of merits. Now the draw normally gets completed around about 11 o'clock and it gets put out about 11:05, 11:10. So we get like 50 minutes window. We've got a bigger window this time actually. The draw is now going to be done at 9 o'clock. So the draw is coming back a couple of hours to 9 o'clock. So obviously you've got a little bit more time, but that also comes down to the fact of needing to know where to go, because we now have designated practice areas. So the match boards will be down on the lower level, and there'll be a balcony on level 2, which will have the practice boards, and you'll be assigned a practice area based on the board you're on. So if you're on board 16, you'll be over this side. If you're on board 1, you'll be over that side for the practice balcony at the top. You won't just be able to mingle in and out as normal, so probably end up practicing with around a couple of different people, but yeah, the practice area is going to be up on the top. When you're playing your games, there is a waiting area. So you'll see from the photo I'm going to put on the screen now. So you throw your darts, you exit to the right as normal. If you didn't know that, check out the library. I've got a video in there. But anyway, you check out to the right as normal. There's a designated path that you go on, and then you have a waiting area. Now we're used to seeing dart players with a table. I'll put it somewhere, a table. There's going to be 2 tables. So there's going to be a player 1 table, player 2. So my stuff will go here, his stuff will go here. I only go to my table, he only goes to his table, and in front of that will be a waiting zone. So you throw your darts, you go around, you go to your waiting zone. Stephen Bunting's going to be an awkward one to play because he's right over to the right hand side, isn't he? So he's going to be tough to get around. But these are government guidelines, and it's good how they managed to fit that in and get it to work. I mean, the 1 metre makes it a lot easier than the 2 metres, I'm guessing. And that throw zone looks like an exclusion zone you'll see here. So instead of the exclusion zone being this way to the board, it's this way in a throw zone, and you can't obviously enter that while that other person's in. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I remember speaking to Paul Nicholson before, and he said they used to do something similar in Australia, where they had like a throw line, and you couldn't cross that line until the player has gone. So might suit the more methodical. It might even suit people such as maybe Simon Whitlock, Kyle Anderson, people like that who probably grew up with this type of system in place. 2 more changes to look at. One is to do with the marking of the boards. So the boards will be marked by the players themselves. There's not going to be markers coming in to do the boards. Now, this is going to go back to old PDC rules where the player at the bottom of the draw marks the first game. So if you're drawn last, player number 8, player 8 marks for players 1 and number 2. And then following that is a loser marks system. So the players will be marking games for other players. a bit like they used to before. The other interesting rule comes down to social distancing rules and how that's going to be enforced within the rules. Now, a player who is breaking social distancing rules can be docked the leg. So if you persistently break the rules, if you break a social distancing rule, you could have that leg awarded to the opponent, so the opponent could claim that leg. A persistent breaking of the rule will see you forfeit the game. So social distancing rules will be enforced within the rules, and then a DRA referral will be made following that. So that's an interesting point, which is obviously going to be a lot of fun for the players' marshals. They're not going to enjoy that one, but it looks like it's simple enough. It looks like the guidelines are in place, and it looks like you easily know where to go, so you can't accidentally just fall foul of those. So yeah, looks like things are in place. Guys, that is the 8 key things that I can see. This is a 9-page document. There's quite a lot of things in it. They're the main things I can see that are different, such as, like, say, you can't, we're all going to be isolated in this bubble. Practice areas, the board changes, separate tables, no markers, all sorts of different bits in there. But this is, I'll do another video on this, guys, but this is going to be more of a video about the things to expect now as a player. So this is just the generic, what rules are different. I'm now going to do a video on the player's perspective. So if you'd like to see that, guys, hit the subscribe button. I'll be putting that out this week. And yeah, we'll see you soon.
Edgar TV.
And if you want to hear more about the summer series, the return to darts and everything darts related, subscribe to Edgar TV for daily darts content.